Hey folks, the Kingdom of Hyrule is once again going for a drastic change. Though this time, it appears to be much more extreme than ever before. This colossal kingdom has faced a manipulative takeover, a great flood, an invasion of another realm, and so much more. The last tragedy to strike Hyrule was the Great Calamity told in Breath of the Wild. It was devastating for the kingdom. However, what's going on in Tears of the Kingdom appears to be on a whole new level. Ganondorf has risen from his deep tomb and is not on a quest to take over Hyrule, but rather, destroy it. In the latest trailer for Tears of the Kingdom, we hear the King of Evil talk with full voice acting for the first time in history. By the way. In his chilling dialogue, he says, "Eliminate this kingdom and her allies." This line does vary slightly in different languages, but the main point to take from it is that he isn't interested in taking over like usual. He wants to eliminate Hyrule, as in kill everyone here, leaving no survivors. That is how I have perceived this, and want to ask and answer the question, will Ganondorf actually be able to eliminate or destroy the Kingdom of Hyrule as we know it in Tears of the Kingdom? Prepare for carnage, take cover from Ganondorf's assault on Hyrule, and to get you through this chaos, be sure to go and grab yourself a snack or drink and cinnamon to get featured right here, and also be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, it really helps the channel out. And let's get into this one. Why does Ganondorf want this? Perhaps an odd question to hear, but what I mean is, why does he desire the deaths of all in Hyrule? The elimination of Hyrule and her allies? In previous installments, he hasn't been this level of malicious. It's usually more of a takeover scenario, the desire to make Hyrule his or gain something such as the Triforce, but never with the main goal being eliminating the kingdom itself. Admittedly, his takeovers can and do come with deaths, but that wasn't his main goal. Take Ocarina of Time for example. Castletown was a cost of his takeover, as well as Hyrule Castle turned Ganon's castle. However, the rest of Hyrule wasn't destroyed, nor were its people. Everyone was fully aware of the takeover, and some even pledged their allegiance to the new evil King of Hyrule. There was just costs. That won't be the case in this game. Ganondorf has inherited the pure malicious evil that Calamity Ganon embodied, and is out for blood. Which is where I'd first like to discuss in answering why exactly Ganondorf wants this. Calamity Ganon failed, despite being the purest form of evil known, literal malice. It wasn't enough. Ganondorf has been deep below Hyrule for Hylia knows how long, crusty, festering, and waiting for his moment to return. Whether that's waiting for someone to activate his release or not, we don't know. It looks like it though. My first speculative guess regarding his motivation for his new goal is that he has simply had enough. Tried and defeated on numerous occasions before, and now Calamity Ganon has failed, he has to step it up a level. Even if that means being as ruthless as this plan, there is no room for failure now. But it still begs the question, why does he want this? What exactly is Ganondorf after? He's not mindless evil like Calamity Ganon, he's intelligent. So what is he after? It's surely not just destruction. That part is much harder to answer. It hasn't been shown off or stated explicitly yet. Usually, it's wanting the Triforce, with the other two pieces being held by Link and Zelda. This could be the case again and be a massive plot point we don't know about yet, but it could easily be something entirely different. Though, going back to that mindless thing, there actually might not necessarily be a key motive other than destruction. Something different about this appearance of Ganondorf that would tie into that idea well is the malice influence. In past installments, he was simply just the Gerudo King, a man with personal motivations, but this time around he has the power of malice on his side. It appears as if he can almost control it as well, not to mention commanding the Blood Moon too now. Malice definitely plays a role here, but it's impossible to say for sure until we know more. But as mentioned, we do know that he has tried and failed before. We know that Calamity Ganon wasn't successful, and that indicates to me that this is Ganondorf taking things into his own hands. And one of the lines he says in the trailer even hints at that being the case. Let's now get into that and the process of eliminating the kingdom and her allies. Getting into the darker areas of this video, what exactly will the process of eliminating the Kingdom of Hyrule and her allies look like? To start off, let's look at something rather interesting. If we look at the Japanese trailer and Ganondorf's dialogue, it roughly translates into English as, "Go forth, my faithful, exterminate the occupants of the Kingdom of Hyrule and all their allies. Leave none alive." I found this out thanks to a post by Reddit user Andoser. It's more or less saying the same thing as in English. I just wanted to check this, as sometime text is varied enough to potentially hold different meanings. The word occupants catches my eye in particular, highlighting that he is talking about the literal people of the kingdom and all of its allies, likely meaning the Hylians, Zora, Gorons, Rito, Sheikah, and Gerudo. Highly forbid I have to say this, but probably also the Koroks. As mentioned a few moments ago, a certain line of Ganondorf hints at this being him taking it into his own hands. The line, "Rise, my servants," indicates to me that all evil across the kingdom, whether that be already existing enemies such as bokoblins, moblins and whatnot, or newer enemies such as this beast and what we can assume are redeads. He is the main guy in control, from the beginning. Perhaps at the time of the Calamity Ganon in Breath of the Wild, Ganondorf himself wasn't ready, and thought the Calamity would be enough. Anyway, how does this elimination or extermination go down? What makes a mass scale attack like this a potential success for Ganondorf? Well, first of all, let's look at the Blood Moon. I've dubbed this the New Blood Moon, Ganondorf's New Blood Moon, if you will. I even made a video following the latest trailer about it. You don't need to have watched that for this video, but if you're interested, it goes into it in greater detail. Link below. Anyway, a key point from that, relevant here, is that this new and more powerful Blood Moon under the control of Ganondorf, as we can clearly see in the latest trailer, enhances his chances of actually being successful incredibly. He can summon enemies from the Blood Moon directly, opposed to the Calamity respawning them, which now appears to be a weaker version of what's going on here. Ganondorf is literally pulling an army from the Blood Moon's powers. Not just that, but we also see new enemies, or servants of his, on the rise. The big one to know is this three-headed beast on the Great Bridge of Hylia. It has been heavily speculated that this is a new take on Gleeok, a classic enemy from the original Legend of Zelda. This thing is an absolute beast, and we don't know if there are more like it to come or not. Then there are these terrifying creatures which resemble redeads, likely a new take on them. Then there are smaller enemies such as this thing and these things, but this is all from trailers. There is likely much more to come. This insane army of servants will be Ganondorf's main weapon in his slaughter attempt on the kingdom, but that's not all. His insane controller over Malice, which is part of the Blood Moon, also plays a huge role. I mean, look at what he's doing to Death Mountain. The place is spewing with malice. Look at Hyrule Castle. This is surely just the beginning. I imagine that we'll be seeing other locations affected by malice too. With all of that said, just how likely is his attempt to actually work out? Starting by going off everything we can see going on, I'd say the chances are actually very high. He has twice the power and capability with Malice influence in the Blood Moon, which extends to affecting locations to an extreme level. It appears as if Hyrule will be in big trouble as soon as the king is awoken. Zelda appears to be lost and possibly hints at just how difficult and ruthless this iteration of Ganondorf will be. She literally admits to Link that she is unsure if he can be stopped, whether as not so long ago in Breath of the Wild, she didn't doubt Link's ability to not just regain his memory, but also come and take on Calamity Ganon. This must be huge if she is now doubtful. I think to directly answer the question in the title of the video, yes, I believe Ganondorf will destroy Hyrule in Tears of the Kingdom. He's got what he needs, and looking at how much happens as a result, it's gonna be big. Now, there are two different routes to discuss as well. One where the game doesn't contain a time jump or time travel of some kind, and one where it does. This is important to mention as it has been heavily speculated to be happening in the game, but isn't a certainty. Both would result in mass destruction. However, one could fall in a time frame where some time travel could be used in order to move forward and fix things. When I say that I believe he will destroy Hyrule, I mean this in the sense of its people would be no more. The beautiful towns, cities and landscapes would be broken down and left to ruin, similar to how Castletown was left in Ocarina of Time. That, but kingdom-wide. The identity of Hyrule would be destroyed entirely. The plains this mighty kingdom are built on would remain, however Hyrule would indeed be destroyed. And I do personally believe that Ganondorf will be successful in doing so in this game. I believe Ganondorf will wipe out the majority of the current population in ruthless fashion. I believe towns and settlements will be broken down into pieces. I believe that when the developers said this game will be dark, that it will be really dark. And I believe that Ganondorf, the returning King of Evil, will see success in eliminating the Kingdom of Hyrule and her allies. Perhaps not all hope would be lost. Could there, somehow in these dire times, be an outcome where Hyrule is destroyed and its people eliminated, but we win? Yes, however, it might not be the prettiest outcome. Things could turn out similar to how Breath of the Wild did, but on a much more extreme scale. At the end of that game, all seems calm now, but the kingdom is still left in complete ruin. A period of recovery would be needed. Tears of the Kingdom could end us on ultimately surviving and putting Ganondorf to rest, but after the majority of the damage is done, which would be incredibly devastating, but in a weird way come full circle with the title of the game. Tears would have been shed at the great loss of Hyrule and her allies. However, Ganondorf would be taken care of. On the other hand, things could turn out entirely different. In the situation where a time jump or time travel is involved, then perhaps things could go back to how they were, a slowly recovering kingdom following the calamity, but this time without the returning King of Evil. It may also be that whilst Hyrule suffers, we venture in the skies. We simply don't know that yet, and that is why this video is as speculative as it is. We don't know the flow of the story yet, and that will undoubtedly have a major impact on everything just discussed. It could completely break half my talking points, so take it all with a grain of salt and remember that this is more speculation and ideas. Whatever the outcome, a permanent scar will be left on the history of Hyrule once again, because of the iconic villain that is Ganondorf. Speaking of Ganondorf, I gotta mention that I am aware that this technically, officially, hasn't been confirmed to be Ganondorf by Nintendo. Yes, this is all on that technical assumption that this is Ganondorf. However, it is commonly accepted by both myself and a large significant amount of the Zelda community that I'd say this is more than safe to go with for the sake of videos. It's just a matter of time before we see the words officially stated. It does also play a bit on the assumption that this is the same Ganondorf as before. In my opinion, enough matches, as well as the fact that he appears to have been mummified and sealed down here for a long time, indicating it being the same villain we saw many years ago in the Zelda timeline. To ultimately conclude this video, it goes without saying that this is something that we will need to wait and see how it pans out. It is not something we can conclude currently. Predict and speculate, yes of course. Ganondorf appears to be stronger than ever before, with new motivations going into his plans and a lot more firepower. What do you think will be the outcome of Ganondorf's attack on Hyrule in Tears of the Kingdom? Will he be successful and leave the kingdom in a state of silent ruin? Will we be able to stop him? Or will it be something else? Leave a comment down below with your thoughts. As always, I look forward to reading and replying to them. Be sure to drop a wee like down below if you enjoyed, and also consider subscribing for more fabulous Zelda content, all the way up to the release of Tears of the Kingdom and beyond. Follow my social media pages linked below to keep up to date or send in a snack or drink photo. And as always, a huge massive amazing shout out goes to all of my channel supporters. With a very special shout out to new supporter, Damiana. Thanks a ton. Your support really helps me to make these videos week in, week out, all month long, 365 days a year. If you'd like to join them and get yourself a shout out upon joining and your name at the end of every video, then consider supporting via the links below. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have an amazing day or night, and until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer.